So now I am recording. So I gotta pump over here. All right, so this is Diego's phase 2.5 osteoporosis reversal program from Fitness Solutions Plus. We're gonna dive into mobility phase 2.5. Exercise number 1 is controlled articular rotations of the neck. Make sure you're standing with good posture. Feet are hip width, shoulder width distance apart. Soft knees, soft bend of the hip, round the shoulders down and back. Retract your head and palms forward. Good posture. So exercise number 1 is neck rotation. So we're going side to side. You're familiar with these movements. The second rotation movement pattern is up and down. Going as slow as fast as you'd like. And then the last one is a no pattern. Good. You can do that or simple circles as well. Moving down. Moving on to the next one is cervical retractions. You will be familiar with these from before. You're trying to keep your head, your chin tucked 20% and then retract your head and then relax to neutral. Option to do this against a wall to get that tactile feedback at the base of your skull.
Yeah, cool. The only thing I don't see well your face. It cuts on the neck, but it's okay. I understand.
Yeah, so you're on my computer. I'm recording on my phone here. So the view over there is good. So okay. I can...
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you.
That might be better. Okay, moving forward. So the next one is exercise number 3 in mobility. It's demonstrated in a sitting position. You can do it sitting or standing. We're doing large shoulder circles, 10 each way, slow to medium pace. Exercise number 4, wrist circumduction. So just circles of the wrists. You can do it like this. You can do it like this. Any way you see fit. Next is exercise number 5. So these are called 5 by 5. So for every other exercise, you're simply doing 10 repetitions on both sides or both directions as applicable. However, this is a different exercise. You're going to do 5 pulses in 5 arm positions. So these are called 5 by 5s. The arm positions are a Y. So you pulse by squeezing your shoulder blades together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm bending at the elbows for a U. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then at a T. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bending elbows onto the hip bones, hip crests. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then arms down to the side. This is the letter I apparently. And then squeezing the shoulder blades. 5 pulses here. So you have to do your 5 by 5s 5 times. So Y, U, T, W, and I. Only 5. So the rest are 10. Next we have a wall slide. So you're going to go to the wall. Remove any furniture or paintings you may have in the way. Your feet are going to be about a foot away from the wall. Doesn't really matter, but you do want to actively lean your entire torso against the wall. You're going to be tucking your tailbone so your lower back is pressed against the wall as well. So you have 4 non-negotiable contact points with the wall slide, which is exercise number 6 in your mobility. So lower back, upper back, and then each wrist. So note, I didn't say elbows. Elbows can lift, but each wrist, upper back and lower back, need to maintain contact with the wall. If either wrist or back lifts, then stop your movement there and only work in the range that you can maintain those non-negotiable contact points. All right, so the movement starts with a U or cactus arm position, tucking your tailbone, pressing it actively into the wall throughout. Same with your wrists. You're going to reach overhead, and then you can bend your elbows past that original starting point if you can. So this is your movement. It looks easy and it is very effective and it sucks. So exercise number 7 in your mobility is a backwards lunge and rotation. So you're going to pick one leg, bring that foot back into a runner's lunge. So that's usually about 2.5, 3 feet of distance between the heel of your forefoot and toe of the back foot. Feet can be narrow, which is super challenging. No problem with widening them to help yourself be steady. From here, you're tilting at the waist in a hip hinge, reaching to the floor, and then we're picking one side, the same arm as the foot that's down, and rotating up 10 times. 9, 8. If this is hard for you, you can have anything to support you if you can't reach the floor. Books are a good option if you don't have a block. Then the same thing for the other side. Woo, almost fell. Sitting back in a lunge and then open up. 10 of those. So from there, I have you go into a tabletop position on all fours. And we're going to do hip circumduction on all fours. In the mobility number 1, I got you to do this in standing with a chair supporting you. Now we're going to do that exact same thing on an all fours position. So you're going to pick one leg, bring it forwards, out to the side, back, and then down in and through, forward, out, back, and then switch directions. So 10 each direction for each leg. Sorry, my screen keeps going to sleep for some reason. So number 8. Oh no, that was number 8. Number 9 is cervical retractions. So I do want you to remember when you're in this position to retract your head. You get a little bit of nice tactile feedback with the line of gravity. So that's the other exercise number 9, is we're doing that cervical retraction and rotate. So you relax, retract your head, look to the left, look to the right, and relax. Feel free to do other neck motions with this cervical retraction. So you can do the yes, or you can do your shoulders as well. And then number 10 in mobility is baby cobra. So for this one, you're lying on your stomach. Your legs are going to be zipped together. Your toes are pointing like a ballerina, so the tops of your feet press into the floor. Your arms are placed right underneath your shoulders, and you're going to fan out your hands. Not sure where you can see them. So fan out your fingers as much as you can. So this exercise, baby cobra, is a back strengthening exercise. All the muscles in your posterior chain will be turned on. I like to perform the exercise with a ripple effect in mind. So I'm actively starting from the feet and contracting all the way up to my head. So to do that, I kick into the floor with the tops of my feet. I turn on all my leg muscles, my glutes, and then my chest only raises because my back is squeezing. I'm bringing my shoulder blades towards my hips. So your hands are here, but they should be helping if you need. Eventually, you want to work to the place where they can hover or even do any of our fancy 5 arm positions we just learned in our 5x5s. So that's your mobility to start with. And now we're going to go into your strength training.
Are you okay still with time?
Yeah, that's okay. We can go a bit over. Are you okay with time?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, awesome. No problem. So, I'd rather you get the information. It seems counterproductive to put in all this work designing it and then just be like, figure it out. So here we go. So phase 2.5 exercise for strength training starts at 10 minutes in my timer. So That's good to know. So for strength training, our main goal here is to increase your power component of your strength. So I do have you changing your tempo, so how quickly you do things. I do have you jumping onto a box, but until you get the step that I'll send to you in an email recommendation, we're just going to do jumps on the spot for number 1. So the jumps on the spot nicely explain the tempo change that we're going to be doing for our strength training exercises in phase 2.5. So in phase 1, we're working on foundational and just building general strength and strength endurance. This one's all about increasing your power. So we want to be a little heavier with the weights we're lifting, and we want to change our timing. So with foundational strength for a squat, you would go 1, 2, 1, 2. Each phase was 2. For this one, we're going to go really slow when your muscles are contracting. So for a squat, it's the lowering phase. So really slow, 3, 2, 1, and then you jump up, and that's 1. So as opposed to 1, 2, 1, 2, the jump squat's really nice to explain. It's 3, 2, 1, and then 1. So that's what you're going to be doing. For every other exercise, you're going to be doing 5 to 8 reps. Just because we are lifting heavier, we are going to decrease our reps. However, for your specific goal of osteoporosis reversal, we want to increase your jumps to more than that. So I actually have a rep range of 8 to 15. So you can start at 8 reps and work up to 3 sets, and then do 10 reps at 3 sets and carry on that way. Then go to 4 sets at 10 reps. Whatever you have time for, I know you're busy. Okay, so now we're going to move on to exercise number 2. Squat with a rotational press. So this is now going to explain how you would do that tempo without the jump. So with this, you have the option of weights on your shoulders. We're going to be doing a squat. So you're going to lower for 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to go up for 1, rotate and press on one side. 3, 2, 1, up, rotate and press. So for this one, the reps is how many squats you do. We're not counting each arm. The main component, the main exercise we're working on is the squat and not the rotation or the shoulder press. We have more shoulder presses later, don't worry. So exercise number 3 of your strength training is a step down. So you don't have a step at the moment. You can use your stairs. Yeah, I might have to change this one because I thought you had a step.
No. I will buy a step, no worries.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll just demonstrate it then. So if you don't want to commit to one of those like huge steps, there's a box one that's 12, 18, and 24 feet, which I think since you're a bit younger, you could handle, but 12 inches is a bit of a start. There's nothing wrong with buying these old school Arab steps because you can really control your height according to what you're comfortable with. And yeah, they come in risers that are in increments of 4 inches, I think. So that's really nice compared to other boxes. So it kind of depends what you want. So for exercise number 3, we're doing a step down. So this is not going to be, this one is all about lowering with control. So it's couples nicely with the tempo that we have for this phase. So what happens is that you're going to stand up nice and tall. You're going to bring one foot off the step. So this is doing a hip hinge until your one foot goes past the floor. So I'm not bending my knee. I'm going to break at the hip and then slowly keep bending until my foot touches the floor. If you have to fall out of it, that's fine. But we do want to work into the place where you can slowly bend down and just tap the floor with your foot. And then you would go 3, 2, 1, tap, and then stand up. Push through your heel and squeeze your glutes to stand. So one foot's off, break at the hip, keep going, lowering with control. You can put your hands out to the sides to help, or feel free to have something else like a wall or chair to support you. Because this one's all about gaining control of the glutes and not about balance. But it will be a secondary component that you will be training as a result. So that one's really tough. That one never feels like you're doing it correctly. I personally felt like I wasn't doing that one correctly for the first 8 months. I forced myself to do it. But I'm pretty sure it is. But that's definitely one that we should circle back to out of any of them. So number 4 is a frontal plane lunge. The demonstration has weights in it. Feel free to add weights later or perform with body weight just at the beginning. So essentially, we're doing a side-to-side lunge. To perform a lunge, make sure you have enough space. You to bring one foot a little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart. You start the lunge by hinging at the hip and then sitting down in an invisible chair. And then from here, you push that leg and come together. So when you're getting used to the movement, feel free to have your arms out here and without weight. And then as you get more confident, I wouldn't go straight to big weights like this, but that was just what I had around right now. Go do like that. So one, and then they encourage you to alternate sides. So I may have went out of screen there, but you got the gist. The most important thing with this exercise, before you add the weights, is just to ensure when you step out, you hinge at the hip, and then you sit into an invisible chair. So my knee is trying to remain stacked over the ankle because my hip's doing all the work. If you're going to do it wrong, it's going to be because your knee's going too far forward. So make sure it's as stacked as it can be over the ankle and you're feeling this glute work. Okay. Exercise number 5 is a low row. So these exercises are a little more, you might be more familiar with. Oh shoot, I forgot the timing with the last one. So for the lunges, the timing would go slow. You go out to the side, 3, 2, 1, and then 1 together. 3, 2, 1, 1 together. Great. So hopping back to exercise number 5, the low row. They show it with a support. Feel free to also just do a hip hinge. They also show it one arm at a time. Feel free to do both. So with a row, you're going to be bending like so. You want to bring your elbows past your torso, and then you want to squeeze them together a little bit. So you're activating as much of your back body as possible. Whew. I need a sip of water. Okay, yeah, so timing again. You can either stand like this or with a hip hinge. You would go, this one is opposite. You go 1, 3, 2, 1. Don't extend your elbow entirely. We're going for 90% extension. 1, 3, 2, 1. 1, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. So, I shouldn't put that on there. It's going to break my desk. Number 6 is a knee flexion with elastic. So this is a hamstring exercise. All my elastics just broke. So I'll demonstrate with this one, even though it's really, really tough. So don't judge me about it. So we're working on strengthening the hamstring. So this is just a pure isolated hamstring exercise. So you would put it around the ankle of the foot that's bending. The other loop, and I would recommend getting ones that are a little bit wider than this. The other one can either go around the ankle, or if that's not enough, you can step on it. So I put it around midfoot of the stationary leg, and then this one can stay on the ankle, or you can try and find another way. Oh, way too tight. Woo! I need another set of Band-Aids myself. So you get the gist of it. You go here and you bend as much as you can. So for this one, you would go up for 1 and then slowly down. 3, 2, 1. 1, 3, 2, 1. And the other leg. Great. If you don't like any of these exercises, let me know. I have another way to do all of these. So this exercise, number 7, is called the strengthening walk. They do demonstrate it with an elastic band anchored at the top of a door or something like that. But just use dumbbells instead. I know you have those. So you grab weights in each hand and we're swinging them back as we bring up a leg. That's why it's called the strengthening walk. So you go 1, 3, 2, 1. 1. Ooh, I'm standing on the edge of my mat. 1, 3, 2, 1. 1, 3, 2, 1. All right. Number 8, a hand clap push-up. So this one's demonstrated using a box. You can use the wall to start if you're concerned. Nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that your hands, your fingertips are in line with your shoulders and the heel of your hand are in line with the base. For women, we say the bra line. So I understand, you can probably understand that definition. They also say below, just below the nipple line. So, yeah, so your hands would be on the wall like that. Then you would walk out your feet. Depending how far your feet are is how difficult it is. So the more vertical you are, the easier it will be. So there's no problem starting there, just to start and get used to the movement. So the timing would be 3, 2, 1, and obviously 1 to come up and clap. 3, 2, 1, and 1 up to clap for 1 count. So you can do that against the wall. You can do that against a coffee table or something very sturdy. If you don't have any of those, you can do an easy version of a clap push-up just in tabletop, like that. I know it looks stupid, but it does something. But then naturally you can also progress to knees, and if you have that in you, go for it. All right, almost done. So exercise number 9 is a bicep shoulder combo. I haven't unpacked all my boxes yet. So I'm going to demonstrate this. Oh, there we go. I'm sure you're familiar with the bicep shoulder press combo. So for a bicep, remember we're doing 5 to 8 reps. So we're lifting moderate to heavy here. You should be pretty tired at the end of the 5 reps. So rounding your shoulders down and back. Elbows are a little bit forward, sitting on the hip crests. So from here, you're going to keep your core integrity. So make sure your spine does not wiggle at all. You want your feet to be shoulder width distance apart, just a little extra wide, and then soft hips, soft knees. So from here, you're going to bend your elbows up towards your shoulders. Once they're here, you can keep your weights this way or rotate them like this into what they call a hammer grip, and then press overhead, and then down and back. So for the timing of this, we would go 1 and 1, And then 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 1, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And if you don't like combining the bicep curl with the shoulder press, you can do just the bicep curls on their own. 3, 2, 1, or just the shoulder press. 1, 3, 2, 1. With this shoulder press, we're keeping our elbows forward like this so that they transition easily into the bicep curl. If you decide to keep it as a combo, great. So exercise number 10 is a half kneeling side bend. So we have you in half kneeling or the proposal position. Bringing arms up to our head. Progression would be to have weights. But to start, we're just doing this, and we're going to be doing a side oblique crunch. So we're crunching towards the side that the knee is down. 10, 9, 5 to 8 reps there. This one movement is pretty small. So for this one, we would go down 1 and then 3, 2, 1 against the force of gravity. Nice and slow on the way up. And then obviously switch, other side. Down for 1, 3, 2, 1. 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So the last two are in lying on the floor. One, again, is demonstrated with the band, but please just use weights. So, yeah. Exercise number 11 is a dead bug variation. So a dead bug is an ab exercise. Normally you move your arms and your legs at the same time, but for this variation, you're not. You're just going to move the legs and the arms are going to be stationary, but holding an isometric contraction, which just means they're not moving, but they're still holding weight. So be careful, make sure you're gripping these weights really well. And then from this will be your starting position. You do want to tuck your tailbone and press your lower back into the mat. All right, so from here, you're going to inhale. An easier version is keeping the knee bent and just touching the foot down and then the other. So we would go 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1. More advanced version is to straighten the leg. 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Whew. Feel free to put the weights down as you need in between sets if they're getting heavy, or even in the middle of your sets. There's nothing wrong with stopping if your form is getting sloppy and then just finishing the last 1, 2, or 3 with really good form. So exercise number 12 is a dumbbell lying tricep extension, or if you want to sound like a gym bro, they're called a skull crusher. So again, this is when you want to make sure your grip is really good, because we are going to bring the weights very close to our skull. So be careful. So obviously we're working on our triceps, and the most important part of this exercise is that you are simply bending at the elbow, and that's it. Every other part of your body is stationary, specifically your elbow to your shoulder. So I'm not moving anywhere here, just the shoulder. Just the elbow. So the elbows are going to bend like you're putting on a pair of glasses. Make sure you don't hit your face. So 3, 2, 1, down, up for 1. And again, extend to only a 90% extension. 3, 2, 1, bending only at the elbow. 1. 3, 2, 1, and 1. Ta-da! And that's your program for now. As I said, please let me know if you have any questions, thoughts, dislikes, likes. This is your program, not mine.